Good Monday morning to everybody. Hope you are doing well. Hope you don't have any Christmas after effects or, kind of like a where you get excited for the Christmas holiday and then I can't find the right word for it, but like a letdown maybe is the best word I can think of. But hopefully not. Hopefully you're still in good spirits for the holidays. Really kind of goes up through New Year's. So then after that's when it kind of gets to be the long, cold winter at that point. But we are now at June the 6th. Several significant dates on June the 6th. That was D Day, of course, um, in the World War II era. And it's also the day I retired this year, 2025. June 6th was my last day to work. So actually, I guess that technically, because that was a Friday. So I guess June 7th might be the technical, or June 9th, I'm not sure. But June 6th was my last day employed. So that adds another significance to that date, aside from the more important D Day. And we are game number 366 on the replay at Fenway Park, the hitter friendly Fenway Park for the Tigers and the Red Sox. Fenway Park, really good to singles, 19 and 15, and home runs 7 and 10. Nice little pitching matchup on paper. Maybe not so much in the replay, but on paper it is. Frank Tanana, a 15-game winner against Roger Clemens, a 20-game winner. Now Clemens is 5-3 on the replay, but Tanana's only 2-5. He's kind of struggled in his replay stats, so we'll see what happens with that. Detroit on the season replay is 30-21. They're in the thick of things, trying to catch up to the Brewers, the Yankees, and the Blue Jays. But they're 4 games back, so they're lurking, and they're within striking distance for sure. Of course, the Red Sox are down there with Baltimore and Cleveland, kind of just mulling through the season. But I mean, these games count. The Tigers have to win. They can't just lay down and think they're playing the Red Sox, and that means an instant victory. Particularly when you're dealing with Roger Clemens, because you never know what kind of performance Roger Clemens could come up with. Good morning to all of you that are here right now. Dan, Tim, Action, and Dr. D. Good to see all of you on this Monday morning. I got a little bit of a late start. Tabby, I was sitting in bed drinking coffee and watching some YouTube, and Tabby wanted to curl up next to me and was like, Tabby, I need to get up here in a minute. And she didn't want to have any part of it. So eventually, I had to bribe her. It's actually rather mild morning here. It's up to 61 degrees right now. The cold front's coming in at lunchtime, but right now it's 61 degrees. So I opened up a window for her so she could get some fresh air, and that coaxed her out of my position and allowed me to get up and do what I need to do. So that's that. All right, enough of that. Let's get right to the game. Roger Clemens, let's get his full stats on the replay. He is 5-3 with a 4.14 earned run average. He is a 2.97 ERA in real world, but he got off to such a slow start. He's finally starting to get back in the swing of things, but his ERA is still up to 4.14. 87 innings pitched, 92 hits, 30 walks, and 75 strikeouts. Clemens will take the mound. Lou Whitaker will be the leadoff man. I need another sip of coffee because of this cough here. I don't know where that's coming from. But anyway, Lou Whitaker is he's doing pretty well as far as matching his numbers. He hit 265 in real world with 16 home runs. On the replay, he's hitting exactly. Actually, no, let me take that back. My eyes, the computer screen on Strat is very small. He's hitting 285, 13 home runs. So he's definitely above his normal production, particularly in home runs. He's already got 13 home runs. He only had 16 all year, and he's only had 1/3 of his at bats. He's had 200 at bats. He had 604 real world. So he's definitely ahead of the pace on the power game. And good morning, Jeff. How are you doing, sir? All right. Before we start with the first pitch, we always need to have the ceremonial first sip. So the ceremonial first sip. And now we can get going. Hello, Mr. Harris, Larry Harris. How are you, sir? It is supposed to get really breezy here after this cold front passes through around lunchtime. And it's going to drop in temperature about 20 degrees. Right now it's low 60s, about 61 here. But by about 1 o'clock, it's supposed to be down in the low 40s with 20-something mile-per-hour winds. So we're bracing for that. All right, anyway, here is enough of the weather forecast. Here is Lou Whitaker to get things going. 5-9, and that's going to be a strikeout for Clemens. So right off the bat, Clemens picks up the K on Lou Whitaker. 1 down, and here is Bill Madlock. Madlock's only been with the Pirates, only been with the Tigers for a couple of games. He's had 9 at bats. He's 2 for 9, hitting .222, no homers or runs driven in. 5-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. Marty Barrett, a 2E11. So we get our X charts ready to go. 2E11 for Marty Barrett. 2 and a 7. 2 and a 7 is a G2. That's a 10, so no problem there because he's an E11. And 10s don't come into play until you get way down here. So Barrett will make the easy play. 2 up and 2 down. And the 2020 Imagine set extra cards are supposed to arrive this afternoon from Strat-O-Matic. I got the FedEx listing saying it's going to get here between 1 and 4 this afternoon. So looking forward to that. So I can get the 2020 Imagined set Demolition League ready to go for New Year's. Going to have a live team selection show and then get it all set up in the Action PC computer so I can score it and keep track of all the stats. All right, here is Kirk Gibson. Gibson on the replay hitting .393 and 117 at bats. He got 8 homers, 29 driven in. He had .277 real world. It's a 2-9, and that's going to be a split chance. 1 to 4 is a single. That's a 13, so he will line it to second. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Roger Clemens. In the top of the first, we go to the bottom of the first. Detroit nothing. Red Sox coming to bat. And soft tossing left-hander Frank Tanana is on the mound. He was 15 and 10 with a .391 earned run average in the real season. On the replay, he has struggled. He's 2 and 5, ERA of 5.09, 64 innings pitched, 63 hits, 14 walks, 48 strikeouts. So those numbers aren't bad. He's just, I think part of it may be lack of run support, but that 5.09 ERA is not good either. So I believe he's been done in by the long ball as well. Gave up 27 home runs real world. Let me see how many home runs he gave up. He has given up in the replay because that might be his downfall as well as the home runs. Let's see. He's given up 10 home runs in 64 innings. So that might be a little high as well. Okay, here's Dave Henderson. Dave Henderson. He is hitting .242 on the replay, 7 homers, 21 driven in. He hit .234 real season. That's a 5-5, and that's a triple 1 to 4 and a double 5 to 20. So Dave Henderson leads off with a double. And Tanana continues to struggle. That'll bring up Marty Barrett, second baseman. Barrett hitting .303 on the replay. No homers, 8 driven in. He hit .293 real world. And the first havoc roll of the game with nothing happening. 4-4, and that's going to be a fly ball to center field X. We're looking at the center fielder, Pat Sheridan. He's a 2E9 for Sheridan. And they get a 1. The Devil Die is off to a great start here in this week with a 1 as usual. Devil Die never disappoints. 2 and a 1 is going to be a double. So another double, back-to-back doubles. And the Red Sox lead at 1-0 early. That's a 10, so I don't think there's any problem with an error there. E9, there's no 10, but it's back-to-back doubles thanks to the Devil Die. Hello, Jeremiah. Good to see you. So Tanana in early trouble. And here comes Wade Boggs to cause him more trouble. Boggs hitting .356 on the replay, 11 homers, 28 driven in. He hit .363 real world. That's a 1. Chance for a wild pitch on Tanana, which is a 5. No wild pitch. 4-5, lefty lefty is a fly to center. That's out number 1. So he does retire Boggs, which is a good start. And now he's got to get by the dangerous Jim Rice. Rice on the replay hitting 286, 4 homers, 24 driven in. He hit 277 in the actual season. Get a 5-11. Ground ball first base X. We're looking at the first baseman Bergman. He's a very good first baseman, 2E12. So we'll see if he can secure this play. 2 and a 6, he should be able to. Wasn't holding anybody on. So a 2 and a 6 is a G2. That's a 9, and he is an E12. E12, but there's a 9 right there. He boots it. How about that? Bergman, a 2E12, and there's a 12, and that's a 9 right smack dab in the middle. So Bergman will, the usually sure fielding Bergman will boot it, E3, and that's going to put runners on the corners with still only 1 out. And the defense not helping out Mr. Tanana for sure. Here comes Don Baylor. They're hoping to turn a double play on Baylor and get out of the inning. Designated hitter Baylor hitting 235 on the replays, 5 homers, 22 driven in. He hit 245 real world. Tanana would like to get that ground ball double play. That's a 4-6, and that's going to be a 1-8 single. That's a 9, so that will be a line out to short. Snagged by Trammell for out number 2. And now Tanana 1 out away from getting out of the mess, but he's got to get by Dwight Evans. In a clutch situation for Evans against the lefty, he gains 2 hits in column 3. A 2 and a 10 turned to hits in the clutch. Evans on the replay hitting 333, 10 homers, 37 driven in. He hit 305 real world. That's a 5-8, and that's a strikeout for Tanana, and a big one to get out of the inning. They get the run on the back-to-back doubles, but Tanana bears down and gets out of the rest of the jam. And at the end of 1 complete, it is Boston 1 and and Detroit nothing. I don't know where I got Cleveland from. Boston 1, Detroit nothing, and here come the Tigers to try to make up that run. It's going to be Trammell, Noakes, and Sheridan for the Tigers. Trammell hitting 415 on the replay, 12 homers, 39 driven in. He hit 343 real world. So 1-7, he's going to continue his hot hitting. That's a 1. It'll be a double for Alan Trammell. So even Roger Clemens can't stop Trammell. He's just on fire. That'll bring up Matt Noakes, the catcher. Noakes hitting 278, 15 home runs, 44 driven in. He hit 289 real world. 5-4, and that is a fly to center. Hauled in by Henderson, 1 away. And that sends up center fielder Pat Sheridan. Sheridan on the replay is hitting 252, 3 homers, 17 driven in. He hit 259 real world. 5-5, and that's going to be a fly ball to left. So a couple of shallow flyouts, and Clemens is 1 out away from getting out of the mess, but he's got to get by the veteran Darrell Evans, designated hitter. I believe on the APA set they call Darrell Evans Howdy Doody. That was like his nickname, so I don't know where that came from, but if I remember, I seem to remember on the APA set they called him Howdy Doody. So on the replay, Evans is hitting 263, 13 homers, 33 driven in. He hit 257 real world. This is a clutch at bat, so he will gain 2 hits on 1-6 and 110. Whoa, we got hopping dice. We're going to re-roll that. That one hopped right out of there. 3-9, and boy, 3-10 missed a home run chance. 3-9, though, is going to at least be a base hit. That's a 16. It'll be a single 2 stars. That'll be good enough to score Trammell. And Darrell Evans has just tied the game with an RBI single. One to one, our score. And here comes Bergman, first baseman. Bergman hit 286 on the he's hitting 286 on the replay. A homer, 11 driven in. He hit 273 real world. 2, chance for a balk or pass ball. Clemens has a 4 balk rating if it gets to that. Gedman has a 12 pass ball rating. So we're checking the pass ball rating, which is a 12. And it will not get by Gedman. He will manage to make the stop there, keep it in front of him. So here's Bergman. 6-6 to the lefty, and he struck him out. First strikeout for Clemens, or second strikeout for Clemens, actually. And he limits the Tigers to the 1 run. So if we go to the bottom of the second, we're tied at 1 apiece. So I hope everybody had a nice Christmas time. Here is Billy Buck. Some people take off during this week as well between Christmas and New Year's. It's like a natural vacation week, and they go back to work after the New Year. But a lot of people go back to work today, so it all depends. All right, here's Bill Buckner. Buckner hitting .258 on the replay, 3 homers, 21 driven in. He hit .286 real world. Lefty, 2-7. And that's a pop up to first where Bergman will field it. 1 away. And here is Spike Owen. Owen hitting .204, a homer, 6 driven in. He hit .259 real world. 2-7, and that's a ground ball to short. Trammell will take care of it easily. 2 down. And that brings up the number 9 hitter, Rich Gedman, the catcher. Gedman hitting only 158 on the replay. No homers, 8 driven in. He hit .205 real world. Lefty, 5-6. Well, he's going to get a base hit, 1-6, and a double die shows but 1 again. So it's a double for Rich Gedman. Gedman with a 2-out double. And that'll bring up Dave Henderson in a clutch situation. He will lose a hit on 1-2. And that's it. Everywhere else he's neutral. Just has to avoid the 1-2. 4-4. And that's a fly ball center field X. We're looking at Sheridan, a 2E9. 2E9. 2-17 is good all day long. E9 and a 12 at center field. E9, there's no 12. There's a 14 and a 17, but no 12. So Sheridan will haul it in, and that will do it for the Red Sox. So at the end of 2, we're tied at 1 apiece from Fenway Park. So far, Fenway Park, we have not had a ballpark check yet. So Fenway has not factored in just yet, but I'm sure it will be coming. Top of the 3rd we go. Number 9 hitter, right fielder Johnny Grubb. Grubb is, let's get the Henderson at bat in the computer and get that moved to the top of the 3rd. Grubb is hitting an even 260 at bats. No homers, 7 driven in. He had 114 at bats real world. Hit .202, so he's kind of right at where he's supposed to be. Except he had 2 home runs real world. He hasn't had any home runs yet in the replay. 5-8, and he's going to strike out here by Clemens. That's number 3 for Roger. And that'll flip the order over now to Lou Whitaker, also a strikeout victim to start the game. Sweet Lou, 4-3. Ground ball first base X. We're looking at Mr. Buckner, 4E13. 4-18, he gets a break on the double die. So 4-18, he'll get to that. And the 10 shouldn't be a problem either. E13 and the 10. There's an 11, but no 10. So Buckner will get to it. He will flip to Clemens covering for the 3-1 putout. 2 down. And that brings up Bill Madlock. One 3 for Madlock. That's a ballpark single. First time we get a ballpark check at Fenway. 1-15. That's definitely a base hit for Bill Madlock. Single for Madlock. He's really not any big threat to run, so they won't hold him on. And here's Kirk Gibson. Gibson liner to second his first time up. 4-4. Oh, that's trouble for Clemens. 1-2 is a triple. 19's a double. We'll see if Madlock can score it. The double is assumed to go to center, and Henderson has a -2 arm. There are 2 outs, so they kind of cancel each other out. So we're sticking with the 10, but he wasn't being held, makes him an 11. So it's a 1 to 11 to score him, or you can bring up Alan Trammell with 2 on and 2 outs. Man, that's a tough call because you want to give Trammell a chance to do something here. So they're going to hold Matlock. They might. The third base coach at the last minute puts up the stop sign, and maybe people think they should have sent him. I don't know. On a 1 to 11, I just don't trust that double die. And Alan Trammell's been tearing it up. If it was anybody other than Alan Trammell, I probably would have sent him. But with Alan Trammell coming up, I felt like I had to give Alan Trammell a chance. Good morning, Kathy. Coffee as usual. And we have a trivia question at the top of the fourth. So get your thinking caps on for that. All right, Trammell in the clutch situation. He's actually anti-clutch. He loses 3 hits, one on 2-6, 1-8, and 1-9. It's a 1-7 though, and he's going to come through. That's why you don't send the runners, because you trust Alan Trammell. He gets the single, 2 stars. It's going to be a 2-run single for Alan Trammell. And now the third base coach is looking like a genius for holding the runners up and not getting them thrown out at the plate. It's a 2-run single for Alan Trammell, and the Tigers now lead it 3-1. Trammell now with the chance to obtain a lead, but he needs a 5 to do so to get the good lead. And he gets the good lead with a 5. How about that? He's a 19, being held as a 17. The quotient is a 0 for the catcher and the pitcher. So it's a 1 to 17. The T rating on Gebbin's a 15, though. If you get a 1, 2, or 3 on the double die, he can have a throwing error, but they'll still throw through anyway. It's a 16. He barely made it, but he is in there with the stolen base for Trammell. Trammell steals second base and gets into scoring position for Matt Noakes, and this turns Noakes' at bat into a clutch situation. Noakes in the clutch will lose a couple hits right here, 2-6 and 2-7, and also 3-5. Clemens trying to bear down 1-9. He's going to walk him, and that'll pass the baton to Sheridan. That's the first walk issued by Clemens to go with his 3 strikeouts. But now he's got to face Pat Sheridan in a clutch situation, and Sheridan loses a couple of hits here, 3-5 and 3-10. That's a 1-7, and he struck him out. Big out there for Clemens, strikeout number 4. But the Tigers strike for 2 thanks to Alan Trammell. And we go to the bottom of the third. It is 3-1 Tigers. Tanana now given a lead to protect. He's got to face the order, Barrett, Boggs, and Rice. Barrett doubled his first time up, an RBI double. 3-3, and this time he's going to ground it to Trammell. So it seems like Trammell's doing everything. Guess that's why he won the MVP in 1987. Here's Boggs. 5-8, and that's a strikeout for Tanana. And again, that's where the 50-50 model has its weakness, because Boggs only struck out 48 times in 551 at-bats. And this is his 24th strikeout already in less than half of those at-bats. So actually, strikeouts aren't that bad when you look at it. So maybe it's not a total weakness there. It just seems that way at the time. But anyway, here's Jim Rice. He reached on the error by Sheridan. By Bergman his first time up. 3-6 against the lefty. That's a single. It's an anti-clutch, but we're not in the clutch situation, so single will stand for Jim Rice. 2-out single, he will not be held, and here comes Don Baylor. He is the tying run at the plate. Hello, Joel. Good to see you. Don Baylor. 4-2. Fly ball right field X. We're looking at Grubb. He's a 4. That's dangerous right there. Putting a 4 fielder in the outfield. That's really bad. 11. He may get away with it. They may get away with it. 4 and 11. No, they won't. It's a single 2 stars. 12 would have been an out, but 11 is a single 2 stars. That is a 12 itself on the error. He's an E3. No problem there, but it is an SI2, so a single 2 stars. Rice will motor over to third, And now the Red Sox have something cooking. 2 outs, 2 on. Here in the bottom of the third of a 3-1 game, but the tying runs are on base for Dewey Evans. Evans did strike out his first time. 3-5, and he's going to get a solid single to left field. Base hit. That's going to score Rice. They'll hold Baylor at second. The lead has been cut to 3-2. And Kathy, it's happened again. When you come up with the trivia question, that previous half inning seems to all of a sudden go long. Here's Bill Buckner in the clutch for Buckner against lefties, but he's going to gain 1 hit on a 2-6. Everywhere else he's neutral. That's a 3-9. He's going to ground it to second. Whitaker will take care of it to end the inning. So we finally get through that third inning. And at the end of 3 complete, it is now Detroit 3 and Boston 2. And now if you will turn your attention to the chat box, Kathy has a trivia question for us just while Clemens does his warm-up tosses. Who hit the only walk-off grand slam in World Series history? Walk-off grand slam. That's interesting. Walk-off grand slam. To think about that one. Who hit the only walk-off grand slam? I wonder if it was. I don't think it was recent, but maybe it was. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I mean, I know about some walk-off home runs, but they weren't grand slams. So I don't know if anybody has any guesses on that. It is recent. Okay. That's a good guess, Dan. Freeze in 2011 against Texas. I know he walked it off in Game 6. I don't know if it was a grand slam or not, but I know it was a walk-off in Game 6. No, it was not Freeze. Okay. Freddie Freeman is what Tribe is. That actually, I can see that because I think, did he do that against the Yankees 2 years ago? Tim got it. I think he did it against the Yankees 2 years ago. I seem to remember that. Now it's brought up. Thank you for that question there. Yeah, 2024. That's what I thought against the Yankees. Thank you, Kathy, for that question. All right, we go to the top of the fourth. It'll be Darrell Evans. 5-5, and he's going to fly to left, 1 away. And if anybody knows why they call Darrell Evans Howdy Doody, let me know. I remember that being on the APA cards, they called him Howdy Doody. And I don't know if it's because of the way he looked or something, the way he acted. I don't know what the Howdy Doody reference was, but I vividly remember it on the APA card because they would always put nicknames on the APA card. Here's Bergman, 3-3, and that is going to be a single check. 1-19 is pretty much guaranteed. That's a base hit for Bergman, courtesy of Fenway Park. I'll bring up Johnny Grubb. Bergman's not going to be, I don't believe he's going to be held. Let me double check it. No, he's not going to be held. Grubb, your batter, struck out his first time up. 6-9, and he's going to fly it to center. That's out number 2. And he'll take it over to Lou Whitaker. Whitaker is 0 for 2. Has not gotten the ball out of the infield yet. 4-4. And that's going to be, he's going to get the ball out of the infield now. 1-2 was a triple. That's a 9. It'll be a double. Now we'll see if the run can score. Again, it's assumed to go to center field, so you have the -2 arm, and that's going to negate the 2-out play. So you've got Bergman running at an 11, but not being held makes him a 12. So 1-12, 60% chance. Madlock is on deck. But I think with the 60% chance, they're going to try it this time. So they will send him, and on a throw-through, if he's safe, Whitaker would take third on the throw-through. But again, it's a 1-12, and that's manufactured by the fact he's an 11, not being held as a 12. The 2 outs and the -2 arm cancel. So it's a 1-12. And he's in there. pretty easily, actually. So Bergman actually comes. I'll just, in my mind's eye, I'll say he just came in standing up, and the throw from Henderson was pretty poor. And Whitaker takes takes third rather on that throw. So an RBI double from Lou Whitaker, and the Tigers lead it 4-2. And here comes Bill Madlock with Whitaker now at third and 2 outs. That's a 2. Chance for a balk or a pass ball. We're looking at a pass ball chance, and Gebbins a 15. This could cost him a run. It does. Pass ball will score the run. That's an unearned run. So being aggressive on the base pass is really helping the Tigers, manufacturing some runs. Oh, Jeremiah had the Howdy Doody earlier. I missed it. Okay, hold on. Let me see here. Oh, he resembled Howdy Doody in his early years. Okay, thank you. I thank you for that, Dan. I totally didn't catch that. Here's Madlock. 210 for Madlock, and that's a 1-16 home run. It's gone. So actually, this will be an earned run now because the home run would have scored him anyway. So it's a home run for Bill Madlock. It's not clean, but it's there. The 210 is a 1-16 homer, and that's a 3. Madlock, his first home run on the American League Tigers. Don't know what he did in the National League with the Dodgers prior to this, but he hits the home run. Solo shot, his first home run and first run batted in as a Tiger. And Clemens is getting roughed up here in the fourth inning. It's now 5. Check that, 6-2 with 3 runs in the inning. Here's Gibson. 2-9 for Gibson, and that's a split chance. 17 means he lines it to second to end the inning. But 3 runs there, and Clemens has given up 6 runs, all earned. So his ERA is definitely going to take a big hit. And quietly, Tanana rolling along, not pitching wonderfully, but pitching well enough to enjoy a 6-2 lead. Here comes Spike Owen, shortstop. There is a trivia question at the top of the 5th, so we'll see if this inning gets through quickly or whether it drags like it does sometimes prior to trivia question. 2-5 for Spike Owen. That is a ground ball to short. Would have been a hit in the clutch, but not in a clutch situation. So he grounds out to Trammell for the second time. 1 away, and that brings up the catcher, Rich Gedman. Gedman actually doubled his first trip. 2-8 for Gedman. This time he will fly to right field, and we might get a 1-2-3 inning prior to a trivia question. That would be a novelty. But Henderson has something to say about it. Mr. Hindu. Hindu can do is the old saying they used to have with the Oakland A's. 1-5. And look at this. There you go, Jeff, if you're still here. Clean as can be. 1-5 is clean. No D20. You don't even need the D20. It's clean. Home run Henderson. That is his 8th home run of the season. RBI number 22. And we couldn't get that 1-2-3 inning in that I wanted, but oh well. Like I said, Henderson had other ideas. He was clean. 1-5, clean as can be. Right there, Henderson, 1-5 home run against the lefty. It is now a 6-3 ball game, and that'll take us to Marty Barrett. Henderson now has doubled and homered. He's 2 for 3. Did not need Fenway's assistance on it either. We had a 4-8, and that's a strikeout by Tanana. There's a dot there, but of course he's not tired yet. His fatigue doesn't start until the 6th inning. Tanana, that's only his 3rd strikeout. So the home run from Henderson cuts the lead in half to 6-3. And we will go to the top of the 5th, and Kathy has a second trivia question while Clemens tries to work out the kinks from last inning and see if he can stay in this ball game a little longer and not go to the bullpen. All right, here is the question. A famous movie duo who made road movies each owned a piece of an MLB teams. Name the 2 actors in the teams they owned. Okay. Famous movie duo who made road movies. I'm not sure what road movies are. Each owned a piece of a major league team. The two actors, name the two actors and the teams they own. So that's a multifaceted question. Bob Hope and Bing Crosby, Dan and Tribe Fan are all over, and Dr. D, boy, they're all over that. I'm assuming that's the correct answer if three people agree on it. I'm not sure what somebody's going to have to define what road movies are. Oh, Bob Hope was from Cleveland? Okay. Kathy or somebody else, can you define road movies? What makes a movie a road movie? Oh, road to in the title of the movie. Okay, gotcha. I thought it was the style of movie, but it's the Road to Rio, Road to Morocco. There you go. That explains it. Thank you for that. And boy, that they were just Tim and Dan and Dr. D were just all over that. All right, here is Alan Trammell. He will start the top of the fifth for the Tigers, who lead it 6-3. Red Sox don't really like their bullpen, so they kind of want to go with Clemens as long as they can. Here's Trammell. He singled and doubled. 4-7. 1-2 was a single. That's a 6, so he will line it to Spike Owen. And that's a big out to get if you are Clemens. You want to get Trammell off out of there and not give up that leadoff hit. Here is Matt Notes. 4-8. That's a strikeout for Clemens. He's not tired, obviously, not yet. And that is strikeout number 5. So Noakes is out of there. And here's Pat Sheridan. 4-6 for Sheridan. It's going to be a 1-16 single. That's a base hit for Sheridan. 2-out single. Hello, Marco. Good to see you. Sheridan can get the lead, but he also gets automatically caught stealing on 11 and 12, trying to obtain said lead. And if he got the lead, it'd be a 1-13. Not that great. So they'll hold him there. They'll hold him on, but he won't try to steal. And here's Darrell Evans. 3-9 for Evans, and he's going to get himself a double right here. 3-9 is a double for Darrell Evans. 2 stars, so that means Sheridan has to stop at third. There is no option to try to score. So second and third with 2 outs now. Seems like Clemens does all right. Then when he gets to 2 outs, he gets in trouble. Here's Bergman. Bergman is singled and struck out. Now to another clutch situation again. And for Bergman in the clutch, he loses those 2 hits right there at 2-9 and 2-10. But we get a 6-6 against lefties, and he struck him out. Clemens comes back with a strikeout, number 6, to get out of the mess. So we go to the bottom of the fifth, still a 6-3 ball game. Tanana back out, and he'll be facing Boggs, Rice, and Baylor to start the bottom of the fifth. Boggs is 0 for 2. 6-3. That's a ballpark single check. That's guaranteed to get him a single right there. So Fenway Park comes to the assistance of Wade Boggs, and he gets a base hit. And that brings up Jim Rice. Boggs was a wonderful hitter, no doubt, but he certainly benefited from playing in Fenway Park. No question about that. I always wondered how Tony Gwynn would have done in Fenway Park and how Wade Boggs would have hit in San Diego. But just the way it is. But if you look at Boggs' numbers over his career, I believe his home batting average is way above his overall batting average. It's just like people benefit in Colorado, same thing. Here's Jim Rice, just like Yankees, some of the Yankee guys benefiting from Roger Maris benefited from playing in Yankee Stadium. That's how he hit 60 home runs. That 290-something feet short porch in right field. 4-3, and that's a ground ball pitcher X. He's got an E0. His range is a 2. Now we'll roll the 3 dice to make sure we don't have a rare play, and we don't. So he will not make an error, but it's a 2. So let's see if we're going to get a double play out of this. what the G1 factors are for a pitcher 2. Pitcher 2, to get the double play, he's going to have a 13 or higher. He needs a 3 or higher to at least make the play. That's a 15, so it will be a double play. It's going to go 1, 4, 3, double play. It is not a Giovanni's tailor-made double play because tailor-made double plays are only when the ground ball goes to short or second. But the Tigers will take it nonetheless. 2 quick outs, and here's Don Baylor. 6-7, and that is a strikeout for Tanana. Strikeout number 4. And the score remains 6-3 as we head to the 6th inning. That will be Tanana's fatigue inning when it comes around. Clemens can go 8 as long as he's not giving up too many runs, but he's on that borderline for giving up those runs. I rely on the Strat-O-Matic computer to tell me when he's tired. So far, it says he's not, so we'll let him keep going. There's Grubb. 1-3 for Grubb, and that's a line out to first. Would have been a clutch hit, but we're not in that situation, so he lines it to Buckner. 1 down. Go back to the top of the order for Whitaker. Five, 6, and that's a strikeout. There's a dot there, but he's not tired yet, so it's strikeout number 7 for Clemens. 2 up and 2 down. Clemens hasn't had a 1-2-3 inning since the first, so he's looking for one here against Madlock. 6-11. Ground ball first base X. He may or may not get this because Buckner's a 4E13. 4-15, though, he'll get to that. Now it's a question of the error. 4-15 for a first baseman is a G2. That's good enough. Buckner's an E13, and we rolled a 13. So E13 and a 13, and there's an error right there on Bill Buckner. 13 and a 13, and you're looking at it right there. So Buckner boots it. Clemens can't get the 1-2-3 inning. It's an error on Buckner. Each team committing an error now. And that's going to bring up Kirk Gibson. Madlock will not be held at first base. But Clemens now has to face an extra batter in Kirk Gibson. 3-11 for Gibson, and he hit him. Hit by pitch. Maybe some frustration on the part of Clemens, but now he's got to bring up. Now that was a bad move because now you got to face Alan Trammell with runners on base in scoring position. It's a clutch situation for Trammell. He's already singled and doubled in the clutch. He does lose some hits here, 1-8 and 1-9, and on 3-6. So he loses 3 hits in the clutch fashion. 1-2, though, is a low max plus injury. So we got a line out, and he may be injured and have to come out of the game. So we'll check the injury and see if he can stay in the game or whether he's got to come out. So we'll go to our injury chart. And the way I'm going to do it is if it's a 7 or higher, he's got to come out. If it's a 1-6, I'll let him stay in the game. But 7 or higher, he's got to come out. That's a 16. He's got to come out. So Alan Trammell hit a liner and maybe felt a twinge in his back. So he's going to exit the ball game. And the Tigers will have to go to another shortstop, probably Jim Whalewander. That looks like who the shortstop's going to be. So they will bring in Whalewander at shortstop in the 6th. So Whalewander. And that does end the inning. And we will go to the bottom of the 6th. This is the fatigue inning for Tanana. Still a 6-3 game as Clemens is hanging on. And we'll go on the computer and put in Whalewander at short. Boy, they lose a whole lot defensively, that's for sure. No question about it. Alan Trammell defensively is a 1E21. And Whalewander is a 4E48. So big time difference there. Here's Dewey Evans to lead off against Tanana. 6-6, and that's a single to right field. So leadoff single for Dewey Evans. And that'll bring up Buckner. He's 0 for 2. 4-5, and that's a fly to center. Hauled in by Sheridan for out number 1. That brings up Spike Owen. We aren't into the we're not in the 7th inning yet, so no substituting. So Spike Owen and Gedman are going to have to hit. Four, 6, switch hitter batting right. 1-8's a single. That's a 13. He lines it to short, out number 2. And that'll bring up Gedman, who is 1 for 2 with a double. Clutch, not a clutch situation because the runner's only at first. So Gedman, 6-6 against the lefty. 1-17 is going to be a single. That's a base hit, 1 star. Evans will take second. Keeps the inning going. And now it's a clutch situation for Hindu, and he's 2 for 3 in the game. One big club of the bat here, and he can put the Red Sox right back in this game. In the clutch, he loses that 1 hit on 1-2. Anywhere else, he's neutral. So the chances of him rolling a 1-2 are not very good. 6-5, and that's a fly to center, and that will end the inning. So he fails in the clutch, and they leave 2 runners on. So Tanana will keep some endurance into the 7th. Score remains 6-3 as we go to the top of the 7th. Check my coffee here. It's still warm enough. I think I can survive without a 7th inning stretch. I did microwave it 30 seconds before I came up here just to get it extra warm. So hopefully that's paying off. Here's Noakes. 5-12, lefty. It's a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Spike Owen. 3E17 for Owen. 3-9 should be able to get to that, you would think. Yep, G3, and that is a 12. And he is an E17. There's no 12. 15, 16, 17 are the only errors. So Spike Owen makes the play. 1 away. And that will flip it to Sheridan. Six, 3, split chance. 1-7's a single. That's a 14. He lines it to second. Out number 2. Now can Clemens is going to try once again to get a 1-2-3 inning here. Got to get past Darrell Evans, who has singled and doubled 2 for 3. That's a 6-10. Fly ball center field X. We're looking at Henderson. He's a 2E16. The 2 is good, but the 16 a little bit troubling. Hello, Mike. Good to see you. 216 is a little bit on the troubling side. 2-14 is no problem. That is a 13, and he is an E16 for a center fielder. E16, there's no 13. There's a 14 and a 16 and an 18, but no 13. So Henderson will make the play. And it's the first 1-2-3 inning by Clemens since the first inning. But he still finds himself trailing here at the 7th inning stretch by the score of 6-3. Programming note for tomorrow morning. The game tomorrow morning will be from Toronto. It'll be the Baltimore Orioles against the Toronto Blue Jays, a very nondescript pitching matchup. Joe Johnson for the Blue Jays against John Habian for the Orioles. So who knows? There might be 20 runs scored in that game with these pitchers. You never can tell. But that's the next on the schedule as we go east to west. We go from Boston to Toronto, and that'll be tomorrow's game around 9-ish, between 9 and 9:15 tomorrow from Exhibition Stadium in Toronto. All right, we're back out now for the 7th inning, bottom of the 7th inning, rather. And it'll be Barrett, Boggs, and Rice due up for the Red Sox. They trail it 6-3. Barrett is 1 for 3. 5-7 against the righty is a ground ball shortstop X. Now, this is where losing Trammell is going to hurt. Whale Wander is a 4E48. So that is horrible. 4-12. He might get to that. We'll wait and see. 4-12. Yep, he does get to that. But again, Whale Wander. We look at his numbers. 4E48. So we go to the shortstop, E48. 6, 12, 15, 3, 16, and 18. That's a 10. So he got by, got lucky. Whale Wanderer got a lucky break rolling that 10. And that saved his bacon. So he's able to make the play. One away. One down, and that's going to bring up Wade Boggs. Boggs is 1 for 3. Got a Fenway Park single his last time up. 5-3. This one's a fly to left field X. Gibson. 3E10 for Gibson. 3 and a 20 is good all day long. E10 and a 9 for a left fielder. E10, there's no 9. There's basically 14 through 18, but no 9. So Gibson will make the catch. And Boggs is retired. 2 up, 2 down. Brings up Jim Rice. Rice is 1 for 3. Does have a double, scored a run. 1-3, and that's going to be a ground ball to second. Whitaker has it. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Tanana, so he will keep some endurance into the 8th. As we go to the 8th, it is still 6-3 favor of the Tigers. And due up is the bottom of the order, Bergman, Grubb, and Whitaker. Bergman. And let's see, I might need to move this over just a hair. Let me take a look here. Before we get going, I may need to move this over just a touch so we can still see the cards. Okay, I think we're in good shape there, hopefully. That way the column 3 and column 6 won't get cut off. Here's Bergman. 4-8. 4-8 is a strikeout. There's a dot there, but he's not tired yet, at least not according to the Strat computer. He's not, so it is a strikeout. 1 away, and that brings up Johnny Grubb. 1-7 for Grubb. He's going to ground it to first, and Buckner will take it himself. 2 down for Lou Whitaker. 6-5 for Whitaker against a lefty is a fly ball to right to Evans, and that will end the inning. So Clemens may be going, might as well let him complete the game. No sense taking him out. He still hasn't reached fatigue yet. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. It's still 6-3 in favor of the Tigers. Tanana in what I will call his last inning, because I don't allow a pitcher to go more than 2 innings past that number unless he's pitching a shutout, which he is not doing. So this will be the last inning for Tanana. He's going to be facing Baylor, Evans, and Buckner. Baylor, Evans, and Buckner. 2-4 for Baylor, and that is a ballpark blast. It's a 1-10, but that's a 12. So Baylor just got up under it, and Fenway Park didn't help him out. 1 away. Look at it again. 2-4 was the ballpark blast, and it's a 1-10, and that's a 12. So bad break there on the double die. Here's Dwight Evans. 6-8 for Evans, and that is a fly to left field, 2 down. Buckner steps to the plate with 2 outs, and the base is clear. 1-7, and he will get a base hit. So a base hit for Bill Buckner. 2-out single for Billy Buck. And that'll send up Spike Owen, unless they want to pinch hit for Spike Owen. Owen hit .259 in the real season, but they might want to go for a better offensive player with some punch. And they will. They're going to pinch hit with Ellis Burks, and then Ed Romero. Not Ed Romero. Glenn Hoffman will play short in the bottom or in the top of the 9th. So we're going to have Ellis Burks to pinch hit. He's definitely more of a threat to hit home run and get him back in the game. Also has a better average. So he pinch hits in the 8th, and then we're going to have Hoffman play short in the 9th. So Spike Owen's day is done. Ellis Burks, let's get the numbers on Ellis Burks in the real season. .272 average with 20 home runs. So definitely no slouch there whatsoever. Now I need to bring him on the computer and see what he's done on the replay to this point. Ellis Burks. Burks on the replay is hitting only .238, 6 homers, 13 driven in. Tanana looking to get past Burks. 3-5, and that's a fly to center that will end the inning. So Burks is out. Whoops. And that means that Glenn Hoffman will be the new shortstop, a 3-E-12. So actually a little bit better than Spike Owen. He's not going to be a 3-E-12 for Hoffman at short. And he runs at a 12. So instead of 3-E-17, he's now 3-E-12. So they get a little bit better there. But that's it for Tanana. He is done. We can close the book on Tanana. He goes 8 innings. And he's going to give up. He scattered 11 hits. Gave up 3 runs. They were earned. And let's check it. Well, let's do this. Let's go to the computer and let the computer save me from doing math. So first thing I do on the computer is bring in Hoffman to play short. That's step 1. Can't proceed without that. Got to have that going on. Then we'll go to the box score and get the totals on Tanana for the game. Tanana, 8 innings, 11, no walks, 4 strikeouts. It is a save situation, so they are looking at most likely Willie Hernandez coming into the ball game to pitch the 9th to try to save it. Right now, Clemens is going to pitch to complete his game, potentially, although the bullpen is active. Shoveling snow for the dog. You got snow over there. All right. Interesting. Okay, so here's the Mad Dog. I guess they called him Mad Dog, Bill Mad. It seemed like I remember that nickname from somewhere. But anyway, here's Madlock. He's 2 for 4, including his first home run. 6-7 for Clemens is a ground ball shortstop X. Ground ball shortstop X for Clemens. So, again, when you bring in a new player to play a defensive position, the ball will find you. The first at bat of the top of the 9th goes to the new shortstop Hoffman. It's just I don't know what it is. It's just uncanny how that happens. But he's a 3-E-12, so he's pretty decent. 3-9, he should handle that. 3-9, he does. That's a 14, and he is an E12. E12, there's a 15, but no 14. So good play for Hoffman. And he takes care of Madlock here to start the top of the 9th. Willie Hernandez is loosing in the Tiger bullpen, and he would come on to pitch the 9th. Here's Gibson. 5-8, and that's another strikeout for Clemens. Strikeout number 9. 2 up, 2 down. Clemens is now retired 9 in a row since he hit Gibson. He's retired 9 in a row. Here's the first at bat for Jim Whalewander since coming in for the injured Trammell. Whalewander on the season hit .241 in 54 at bats with a homer. On the replay, he's hitting .400. He's 4 for 10 with a home run. So he's definitely overperformed. 4-7, and he's a switch hitter batting left. So that's going to be a walk by Clemens. I believe that's only his second walk of the game. I know he hit a batter. Might be his first walk of the game. Oh, yeah, he walked Noakes. That's his second walk of the game to go with his 9 strikeouts. So Whalewander will reach. He will be held, but he won't go anywhere. And here comes Matt Noakes. We get a 3-7 for Noakes, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. Strikeout number 10 for Clemens. And he'll get the complete game, but he's on the short end of the stick as they trail it by the score of 6-3. So we'll get the totals from the computer for Clemens. Wrap up his numbers. Got dinged early and then managed to stay in there and persevere to complete the game. 10 hits, 6 runs, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts, but he's in danger of dropping to 5-4. Tanana's looking good to improve his record to 3-5, but Willie Hernandez is going to come in and try to get the save for the Tigers. And they'll pinch hit for Gedman. Gedman is the leadoff hitter for Boston, but I believe they will get a pinch hitter. A right-handed pinch hitter will come in. But Willie Hernandez is going to come in for the Tigers in relief. We'll get the numbers on Hernandez for the replay. Of course, the Strat computer has him as Guillermo Hernandez. I know he kind of switched names there a little bit, but the Strat card has him. It's interesting. The Strat computer has him as Guillermo Hernandez, but Willie Hernandez is what's showing up on the cards. That's kind of interesting how they did that. 3-4 on the real season with 8 saves and a 3.67 ERA. On the replays, 0-0 with a 6.35 ERA and 2 saves. So pinch hitting time for the Red Sox. And I believe the only right-hander they have left that's any good is Ed Romero off the bench, because you're not going to pinch hit with Sullivan. They got Greenwell, a lefty, but man, do you really bring in a lefty to... I think you got to play the percentages here. So they're going to bring in Romero to pinch hit. If it goes to extra innings, Mark Sullivan would catch, but that's a big if. So Romero is your pinch hitter here in the 9th to start things off, and he'll be followed by the top of the order, Henderson and Barrett. But right now, we bring in Romero. Hello, Clinton. Good to see you. So let's bring in Romero on the computer and get his numbers on the replay, see how he's doing. Well, first of all, on the real season, Romero was a 272 hitter, no home runs, 235 at bats. On the replay, he's hitting 310, no home runs with 126 at bats. So Romero trying to get something started here to start the bottom of the 9th against Willie, or Guillermo, don't call me Willie Hernandez. 212, and that's going to be a Lomax plus injury. I'm not going to worry about injury for Romero because he's wasn't going to stay in the game anyway. He will hit a Lomax to start the inning. Snagged by Madlock. 1 away, and here's Dave Henderson. Henderson has doubled and homered. That's a 4-7, and that is a ground ball to second base. That's Mr. Whitaker. He's a 2E20 for Lou Whitaker. 2E20. 2 and a 6. He should be okay with that. 2 and a 6 is a G2. That's a 9, and he is an E20 at second base. There is no 9 there, so Whitaker makes the play. 2 up and 2 down. Hernandez now going for save number 3. He had 8 in the real world. Going for his 3rd save, facing Marty Barrett. 3-11 for Barrett. He's going to ground it to the shortstop Whale Wander, and that will do it. So Willie Hernandez, a 1-2-3 9th inning. He gets his 3rd save. Tanana gets the win. So 3, a line out and 2 ground outs. Take care of business. 6-3, your final. We'll go to the box score and get the totals and set you up for tomorrow morning's game between Toronto and Baltimore. Clemens takes the tough loss to drop to 5-4. Tanana improves to 3-5 for the Tigers. 6 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. For Boston, 3 runs, 11 hits, and an error. Both teams left 8 on base. So with the Tiger victory, let's see what it does for the standings. With the Tigers getting a win, that will pull them ever so closer. They're now 4 games back of the Brewers. They're still in 4th place, but they're only 2 games back of the Yankees and 2.5 back of Toronto and 4 back of Milwaukee. Poor Boston, stuck in last place, now 17.5 games back as they drop to 19-36. So tomorrow's game will be from Toronto. It'll be the Battle of the Birds. Orioles and the Blue Jays. Blue Jays are a game and a half back in Milwaukee, so it's an important game for the Blue Jays. They need to win to keep pace and try to put pressure on those Brewers. So that is going to do it from here. Again, final score from Fenway Park is the Tigers 6 and the Red Sox 3. Game 366 is in the books. Hope you all are having a great Monday, whatever you have planned. I'm hoping that my 2020 Imagine set extra players arrive from Strat-O-Matic today, so I can complete my set and get to the Demolition League with the Imagine set. The notice I got from FedEx was that it's supposed to be here between 1 and 4 today, so we'll see. I'm a little eerie of FedEx notifications, because sometimes they can change on you, but hopefully it's going to be okay. We'll see. And most likely, if it gets here the way I hope it gets here, then I plan possibly tonight to do a 2020 Demolition League team reveal live stream. Well, it'll be just on the computer. It won't be on, you won't see anything on the cards and dice. It'll be computer. And I'll have that wheel. I'll put all 30 teams on the wheel, and we'll just spin the wheel about 20 times to eliminate 20 teams, and the last 10 standing will be in the Demolition League, no matter what the teams are, because it's we're going to make it random. So the only thing I would do to alter that possibly is I want at least one team from each division. So I won't let once a team gets down to where it's one team in a division left, then I'll keep them from being eliminated. But other than that, hey, if both New York teams and both LA teams are gone, so be it. We're going to go with whatever we can get here. But I just think the Imagine set works perfectly for the Demolition League, because the stats on there aren't even real. They're proposed by Strat-O-Matic based on, I'm not sure what it's based on, actually. I guess they just take what they did in the real season and extrapolate it out to what they probably would have done, or who knows what. I don't know what the formula was. But either way, I just think that is probably a better way to do the Demolition League than trying to use a real season with real stats, because then you start getting into expectations and whatnot. So by doing this, we're just going to play it out and see what happens. It's almost like it's the closest thing to a fictional set. So I'll have 3 projects going at that point, and I'm going to cut it off at 3 because that's all I can handle. Even being retired, I can't handle more than 3 projects. That's just too much to keep track of. But in January, we'll continue this replay with the 1987. We'll have the History Maker Baseball fictional set, the Ticonderoga Stooges from the Baseball America set for 2025. I'll be playing that. I've already played 1 game, but we'll obviously got 40-something games to go to get that through. And so that'll be coming up. That'll be going on as well. And then we'll have the Demolition League for 2020, the Imagine set. So looking forward to that. That's correct, Dan. I sent them 1 email, and they apologized for the error and said they would be sending my extra players. They took my order from completed to back to processing, and then I got the string of emails saying it had been ready for shipping, and then I got it. Then I went in. I got the FedEx tracking and went in there, did their tracking. It was in New York over the weekend. It was in New Jersey on Sunday, early Sunday, but now it's locally here. I got the message this morning saying it's locally here, and it's expected to be here between, was it 4 and whatever it was, 4 and 1 maybe? Is that what I said? I have to double check the. Let's see what we got here. Let me see if I can find this. Get the tracking here. see what it says. Okay, so it says, I don't know if you can see this on the thing here, but it says today between 1:45 and 3:45. So you see it started in Glen Head, went to Bethpage. It's no longer even showing. It's not even showing New Jersey anymore, but there was a screen here that showed New Jersey. So right now it's in South Chesterfield, which is right down the, not that far from Petersburg. And it says estimated delivery 1:45 to 3:45. So we'll see if it gets here during that time or not. And like I said, I've got a couple of sheets of extra team players that were just a misprint. And that's one thing I put in the email to them. I said, please check your inventory and see if you've got, if there's a run of these miscut or misplaced cards, because I don't want anybody else having to go through this. I mean, because then Strat-O-Matic is having to correct all these things. But so hopefully they got it all straight. I don't know. It must have been just a bad run for the printer or something. I have no idea. But hopefully they'll get it straight. I have confidence that they will. Maybe that's a false confidence, but it's in the hands of FedEx now, so it's not a Strat thing anymore. So my confidence now has to be in FedEx. So I'm hoping that this afternoon that will arrive, and that way tonight I can do my selection show. All right, so that's going to do it from here. Again, final score. Oh, someone got some stuff knocked around here. Final score, again, is the Tigers 6, Boston 3, Clemens the loser, Tanana the winner, and Hernandez his third save. Home runs in the game. The only home runs, Bill Madlock hit his first, and Dave Henderson hit his 8th. So I need to put in here that Madlock had his first. Henderson is first, and Henderson is 8th, and Madlock is first. And again, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock-ish, will be the Orioles and the Blue Jays from Toronto's Exhibition Stadium. It will be game number 367. So, hope you all have a great rest of your day, whatever you have planned. And assuming the cards come in tonight today the way they're supposed to be, I will attempt to do a live stream of the selection show. If I can get everything working, hopefully around 8:30ish or so. We'll see how it turns out. If they aren't here yet, or if I'm not ready to do the selection show, then the alternate programming will be I will do the another History Maker Ticonderoga Stooges game. So we'll figure something out. But anyway, that's going to do it from here. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Hope the weather is good wherever you are. I know some people were saying they got snow and high winds or whatever, so keep warm out there. It is winter after all. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.